And here we have a actual camera instead of using my phone. I'm trying to use this camera a little bit more. I got this camera years ago. Let me see if that works better. I can't see myself, so I don't know if I'm focused in or if I am way too zoomed in. Okay, how far? Maybe a bit. There's a lens on the back, or a digital screen on the back, but you can't see that. It doesn't flip out or anything. This camera is actually really bad about trying to focus in. When it is focused in, it's real nice. But this is on the worst end of trying to focus stuff in. I don't really have much that I've been thinking about now that I haven't talked about. I guess I could talk about college and my experience. College was not typically the best for me. It felt, actually, if I'm gonna be honest, when I was in college, it felt awful. I hated going, and I was living on campus because I'm like an hour away from the college I was at. Oh, just got a notification from T-Moon saying that I got stuff coming out. And I was like, I forgot that I got stuff from T-Moon. Also, I'm very sorry if the mic quality is not the best. I'm using the on-camera microphone because I don't think this camera has a place where I can plug in a microphone, which sucks. So if I'm feeling more into doing these vlogs, or if I want to do more video production, I'll probably get like a better camera. But for now, this is what you'll get, unless I use my phone. But anyways, back to college. Yeah, it felt like I was in limbo every day, and I wasn't really happy. And then there would be times where I would break down because it was just so awful. And college was hard. It was very hard, and I wasn't doing anything that was like required rocket science. I was just doing basics, and then I eventually. So what major I was wanting to do was I was wanting to do computer science, or programming. Sorry, I wanted to do programming, and that fell hard. That was a very, very tough class. And the whole time that I was there, we were making a calculator. We spent a whole semester making a calculator. And, you know, some people are like, oh, yeah, that's something that you need. I'm not making a calculator as soon as I'm out of college. And remember me saying that about the calculator situation, like me going out of college and I'm not making a calculator. Remember whenever I say that, because I'm gonna try to bring that back up. Trying to switch hands, my arm's getting tired. So I eventually switched over to I eventually switched over to art, to visual art. And I would draw, and a lot of the times I didn't really feel like drawing or painting, and we had to do a lot of abstract art, and I don't do the best with abstract art. I'm more realism. I like to do realism. because it is just amazing to see what people can do when they go outside or they see something and they draw it and it looks so realistic. I can't get to that point where it's extremely realistic, but you can make out what it is pretty well, without having to stand 20 feet back with your eyes squint and blurring your vision. So I eventually switched over to visual arts, and I did not like doing that after a little bit. It was fun at first, but then it just was not for me. Because you couldn't fail. And I know people say like, oh, art is subjective, but I mean, come on. You could have failed me with what I would turn in. Because a lot of times whenever I wouldn't feel like doing it, and it was like the day of to do it, I would finish it really quick, either that night or in the morning when it was due. So yeah, there's a school bus in the distance, but I don't have the lights on. You should see how foggy it is. Let's see how... It's really foggy outside. It's actually not as bad on camera. In person, it's not really good. And as far as my basics, let me try to fix myself. They were not basics, especially math. I mean, I was doing trigonometry, and that was the most basic math there was over there. It was trigonometry. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You're making me do trigonometry in the most basic math. I checked too, I said, hey, this class is really hard. Is there any other math classes that are easier? Nope, that's the easiest one I got. I'm like, dang. That is insane. So I failed that multiple times. I had the same teacher too. I hated having a teacher. And I would try to see if I could have any other teachers, but that was the only teacher there was for that. I'm like, what the crap? So, me and that teacher did not have the best student-teacher relationship, I'll tell you that. And she was very not helpful. Actually, let me say this. A lot of the teachers were not helpful. They did not want to do their job. They were just there to make their money. And how it worked since COVID had happened was most of my classes were online, and so either they would just kid staring at me. Most of my classes were online, so either we were just strictly online, like there were 0 class meetups, or we would meet up for maybe 30 minutes in in-person class. The teacher would go over what's going on today, and then we would just go home or to our dorms and work on them. And that was unnecessary because, like, it was unnecessary to meet up because it was just right there in Canvas. We would all see what was due today or what's going on today. So teachers didn't want to do their job. I had this one teacher, biology teacher, and she was a witch. She was so mean, and just to me. I mean, she hated me. I don't know why. She would always treat me like an 8-year-old. Because she couldn't get her, I'm passing a concrete, or yeah, like a concrete making plate factory. I don't know what they're actually called. I can smell that fresh concrete they're making. And she couldn't get Canvas set up correctly, so we would just have to guess what was like either due today or like just anything. And if I didn't do something that was supposed to be due like tomorrow or whatever, she would just like get on to me in front of the whole class, be like, you need to focus on this, and like that's old news, and like you shouldn't even be working on that, and all that stuff right in front of class. She would like stand me up in front of class to get on to me. So I eventually just stopped going to that class. Switching hands while I'm trying to merge. I'll do that. I'm trying to merge right now. Looks like I'm clear. Yep, still recording. Cool. Very cool. What is going on? Everybody's slowing down on the highway. So yeah, teachers were very mean. There were a couple teachers that were really helpful and went out of their way to help me and other people. Some of them were nice, but most of the time they were all just like mean and didn't want to do their job. I guess I'll bring this up. Remember whenever I said, like, long ago now at this point, how I'm not going to be using this outside of college? That could not be more truer, because everything that I've done in college, I have not once used it in the real world. Like, or in jobs. I have not used it in jobs. I haven't used it in my daily life. The only thing that I will say is I've only noticed, not apply this, like, to, like, actually do something, but I did notice this for a little bit after college about the golden ratio, whenever I was in art class. If anybody's in art class, you know what the golden ratio is, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Trying to merge again. Alright. But, you know, I've got to kind of just stop doing that, the whole golden ratio, and like just noticing it. So that was like the only thing outside of college that has been done. And yeah, so whenever I get like a job in art, I haven't used any of that in like any jobs. So I think college is a big scam. It is a big waste of money, like huge. You spend a lot of money on college. I spent a lot of money. Well, I won't say it's my money. It's showing my mom's because she's the one paying for my college. But we spent a lot of money for teachers to not teach and to be cruel people, and for me to just not apply this in school, in real life. And there's like some jobs down over here, and this just applies to me down here. It could apply to you differently, where it is required. A lot of jobs do require that, but a lot of jobs around here don't require that. Oh my gosh, is there gonna be a wreck? No, that truck is just really slow. Yeah, that's basically about it. College is a scam, and I would probably never go back. and a lot of jobs around my area don't really require that piece of paper. So yeah, that's about it.